I am Melanie and I'm here with Rainy.
Hello.
And I'm gonna show you how to get this look.
Ta-da! Basically, I'm just gonna start with moisturizing her skin. So it's just Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream, which is a lovely moisturizer. It leaves a glow. It's a good base to start. Always apply a nice thick lip balm. Then I leave on throughout the whole makeup until I'm ready to do lipstick. So the lips really absorb the moisture. Chanel Hydro Gel under the eyes. It grips the concealer, illuminate the under eye area. So that's kind of my skincare routine. So as far as applying the foundation, I really like using a beauty blender that I keep wet with either a rose water from Whole Food or a Caudalie Eau de Raisin, which is just a really nice, hydrating, soothing water. So with the beauty blender, I'm probably gonna mix two foundations for a skin tone. Those are Giorgio Armani Luminous foundation that you can build, it's buildable. And it's just basically pat it on the foundation with your wet beauty blender, starting with the middle of the face outwards. So you don't have much of the foundation coming to the jawline. She has lovely little freckles. I want to keep those showing. I like to work a darker foundation on the outer corner, just starting to create some depth. So I just use the same foundation, just the darker version of it. And same with my beauty blender. I'm just going to go on the outer corner of the face. So, the jawline. So it's still a very natural look, it's just a little definition. And I'm gonna still continue my definition by working with a little brush, some of the dark color inside here, very naturally. Yeah. I'm happy with that base. Now I'm gonna work on the concealer. I like to apply concealer with a flat brush, and I'm really concentrating on that little shadow in here. And most people have some blue undertones, so I like to use a concealer that has a little peach just to cancel that. It doesn't have to be too strong, but not a yellow undertone, but a peach undertone concealer. I think there's like a big no-no. People don't powder under the eyes. I think right now on the market there is really great powder, talc-free, silky, very fine. So powdering under the eyes is okay, so we don't get any crease. And you see I'm just patting it in so I can set the concealer and not allow any crease to show. And I'll just take it over the lid, giving me a little base to start my makeup. I think that with a look that is a minimalist look, all about skin and glow, I think having a well-defined eyebrow is important. I'm using Tom Ford. Tom Ford has two eyebrow palettes. I'm actually using both of them because the dark one is too warm and the light one is too light for her. So I'm mixing the two. Try to work with the natural shape of the brow. I'm pushing the product in. Eyebrows are sisters, they're not twins, so they're never really, rarely the same. I think it's a mistake to try to make two eyebrows extremely asymmetrical. I'm going to use Glossier, their brow gel. It's called a Boy Brow. It's actually really good. So once I fill my gap and make the shape, I'm just going to brush them, add very little color, and make sure they stay put. I like to bring the brow down here sometimes. And don't keep on pumping the product. There's a lot of product on the wand. Same with mascara. Too much product on the wand is just not good. So either just let it dry out a little bit or wipe the product out with a tissue. So this is the base on the skin. We're gonna start on the eyes. I'm gonna work with Stila. Stila has a metallic dusty rose. It's great, but it's messy. I'm gonna use my finger for this one because it goes better with your finger. So, keep the bulk of the product by the lash line. Bring it to the brow bone, but very lightly. So there's a little residue, but not too much. Even with a really natural makeup, I'm always gonna define the eye a little. Chanel has this amazing 4 eyeshadow, all matte, but I'm gonna use the brown just to define the crease. So lift the brow, find that crease, and go in it. I like to do it with the eyes open if it's possible, because with the eye closed, the crease moves. So if you work on your crease with the eye closed, then when she opens it, it's not where you want it to be. So if possible, look straight, keep your eyes open, lift the brow, and work that color in. And basically in a back and forth movement, you create a little shadow, a little definition on a crease. Really be careful, you don't want to start on the inner corner, you don't want to start on the outer corner. You really want to start in the middle, especially for definition, and then blend your color back and forth so we don't have a bulk here or a bulk here. That same palette, look up, same a little definition so the under eyes does not get totally lost. Keep the inner corner light, so just work the color on the outer corner. So I'm gonna curl the lashes, pumping it, I mean, a couple of times is the way to get a good curl on the lash. Mascara is a tricky thing for me. I could never find a really good mascara. I always feel that either the brush is too thick, it picks up too much product. So I actually really like the Chanel, the Inimitable, which has a really thin brush. It doesn't deposit too much product. So brushing, you know, everybody has their own technique. I like to pick up the eyelid really close, let's get really to the roots, and then open those eyelashes like a fan, so there's no holes. We're gonna move on to the skin basically and just work on that dewiness. We're gonna use the NARS Illuminator, it's 413 Glicker. So, you know, highlight, I mean, we've used so many tutorials on highlights, so it's cheekbones, you know, bring it up, bring it on the brow bone. You know, with this makeup, there's no harsh line, it's a continuity of gorgeousness and luminosity. I always love a little highlight on the bridge of the nose and on the inner corner of the eye. But I have to use like a little brush for that. So for this to really pop, for the highlight that I just put to really pop, I'm gonna accentuate a little bit her contour on her cheek. Tom Ford Shade and Illuminate, it's a sculpting product, it's pretty fantastic actually. So you work right there and then you just blend it upwards and not too near the mouth. Always a little peach coral on the apple of the cheek as far as I'm concerned with any makeup. Glossier clap paint and blush very lightly. So let's do the gloss on the eye. We're using Pat McGrath, hi Pat, Cyber Clear eye gloss. I'm gonna use with my finger. Try not to go by the brow bone just because I just want the gloss to stay on the lid. I wouldn't put any gloss under the eyes, that's a catastrophe. And then final look of the lips. I'm gonna keep the lip more like a stain. Giorgio Armani has those amazing lip lacquer that I'm in love with. I just really truly love the consistency and it actually stays on very well. And why I apply it with my finger because I don't want the harsh line, I don't want a lip pencil, I want just a stain. So this is how you would switch this look up to more like maybe like an evening look with a darker lip. I mean, I'm in love with those Giorgio Armani. I'm just gonna use like a really deep berry. And because of the consistency, it allows me to be able to press it on the lip. I love this look. It could totally be a summer look because the skin is so glowy in the eyes. I think we can get away with the darker lips for sure. I think that's it.